Hey babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm back with a new Get the Look tutorial for this look featuring the Dark Magic palette from Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. Now I don't want this intro to be too long, but if it does end up getting a little bit chatty, I'll put a timestamp here for you guys to skip forward to the tutorial if you just want to see that. I just want to mention really quick though that I do plan on doing, if you guys are interested, I want to put a poll up. You guys let me know if you want to see this or if you're just over it. But if you would like to see a full in-depth review video on the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palettes. I did buy the vault. I got all 4. So far I've used 3 of them. So I do have some thoughts. I had been posting all my first impressions on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, definitely follow me over there. I've been posting kind of first impressions with pictures on my page, as well as if you go to my highlights, I have a little highlight story here that says the Day H Vault, where I'm sharing my first impressions as I use them. So I have had some ups and downs using these palettes, and I don't want to go into a lot of detail. You can definitely go check out my Instagram for more information on what I think, but I still have a lot more to share in a full review if you guys want to see that. So let me know and I will do that if you guys still are interested, or if everybody's just over these palettes. I'm not sure. I will let you guys know right now, right off the bat, that I do like these palettes. I'm not mad that I got them. I'm still happy that I got them because the colors speak to me. I love the color stories of the palettes, of each of them individually. I think the price is good, but I will say I was a little bit my expectations for them were a lot higher. Basically meaning so many people raved about the Jaclyn Hill palette, the original, which I don't have, and how the quality was so amazing and so great, and these were supposed to be the same as that. And so based on that, my expectations were very, very high for these palettes. And I would say that these palettes did not meet my expectation for what I was expecting. At the same time, I don't think they are terrible, awful palettes. They do require a little bit more work to use, but they are beautiful palettes. The colors are beautiful. I love this look I created. So many of you guys love this look as well. I almost actually didn't share it on my Instagram account because the day I did it, and this happens all the time, where I do makeup looks and I'm not doing a tutorial, or I'm not filming, I'm not taking my professional photos using a good camera, but I did take, you know, cell phone selfies of my looks and stuff like that, just so I can remember the looks I've done and possibly put them in videos and stuff like that, just to show you guys the looks I have done and used and stuff like that. And then I normally don't share those like anywhere except for maybe in a video like I mentioned, but I hadn't been able to create very much content lately. I've just been really busy and just a lot of kind of different family things going on, and so I haven't been creating much content. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna share this photo. Why not? I'll just put this photo on my Instagram, which I normally never share a photo if it's a cell phone photo, that I did, and so many of you guys loved it. I got so many likes on it, so many comments, and a lot of requests for me to do the tutorial on this look. So I'm really glad that I did share it. If you got this palette or have been considering getting this palette, I hope that this tutorial inspires you and helps you. I think that's all I wanted to say in this intro. I think it still ended up being kind of long, so I apologize, but I do hope that you found it helpful and informative and that you guys enjoy the tutorial. Alright, I just wanted to say really quickly before I get into applying the eyeshadows and all that jazz, as you can see, I do already have my brows done, and I did bring a little bit of the concealer I used down as usual onto my eyelids, but I kind of try to like blend a lot of it out and away. I have just enough on there just to leave my lids more of a not so dark, because I have dark circles, so they're a little bit lighter, but for the most part I wiped as much of that away because I did have issues with these eyeshadows over top of that concealer, so I'm gonna use a primer over top of that. But I also want to mention really quickly, because I realized I never say this, but I just figured I would say, just because this is a favorite, I use it all the time, and it's a really affordable option. So for those of you who are looking for a really great drugstore eyeliner, this is the one I always use. Like I said, I don't ever say this, but a lot of times in my tutorials I already have eyeliner in my waterline. I just like the way it looks, and so this is what I always have in my waterline, and it is the Rimmel London, what is it? It's the Scandalize Kohl like waterproof eyeliner. Like clearly I've used a lot of it. I'm almost out of it. Other times I use like Urban Decay and the Makeup Forever Aqua XL pencils, and sometimes I will mention those ones in the tutorial because I usually sometimes use those towards the editorial if I'm using like a colored one or something. But for the most part, this is the one I'm always using. It's just so creamy, so opaque, and so pigmented. I love it. So a little bit of a random tangent before I get started, but I just figured I would go ahead and mention that for anybody who ever wondered or needed a recommendation, because these are super cheap, but they're probably the best, better than the Makeup Forever one in my opinion, as well as the Urban Decay one, which those ones are great. I love them, but this one I would recommend over those because of the price and because it's just amazing. It works. So all right, with that, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, to start, I am going to go ahead and prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush. This is the large fluff, the L224 from Stilazzi. And I'm going to go into the shade Poof just to set that all over my eyelids. Pretty much lash line to brow bone. By the way, I don't know if you guys can hear, but if you do hear any kind of noises like whimpering weird sounds, my cat is sleeping right at my feet, and he just like made some weird sound. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but if you do, that's what it is. It's just me here during the day, so my kids are gone, my husband's gone, and my cat he doesn't like to be alone, so he always joins me in my office, whether I'm working on the computer or I'm filming. He's always in here with me, and if I'm filming, he usually has to be like right at my feet. It's super cute. Alright, now I'm going to be going into the shade Potion with a blending brush. I'm going to be using the Smith 230, but any blending brush that you have will do. And I'm going to be taking that into my crease. I'm going to be smoking it up kind of higher. And I'm going to start at the center of my lid and just kind of sweep that all into my crease from the center to the inner corner and outer corner as well. Just bringing that all over my crease. Alright, now I'm going to go into the shade Inside Job, and I'm going to use that with a very tiny blending brush. This is the Morphe M562, and I'm going to be taking that a little bit lower on my crease as well, just so we have that nice gradient going from Potion to then this one, Inside Job. I'm just going to take a touch of both Potion and Inside Job, just like a touch of those colors onto this brush, the Stilazzi Mini Crease Fluff, which is the L217, and I'm just going to kind of blend and diffuse those colors up a little bit higher into my crease, or up above my crease, I should say. Alright, now continuing with the same Stilazzi Mini Crease Fluff and Inside Job, I'm just going to bring that onto my lid, mostly from the outer corner of my eyelid to the center of my eyelid. I'm going to put another shade for the inner part of my eyelid, so we don't need a lot of shadow there. I just really want this for the outer corner. Now I'm going to be going into the shade Diversion, and when I first did this look, I did have trouble with this applying it. I used a smaller brush that I normally use with a lot of metallic shadows and things like that, but it was kind of a struggle. So today I'm going to be using a brush that I've kind of more recently been using and trying with a lot of the specifically Vault palettes, and their metallic shades in here, and it's been working a little bit better, quite a bit better. And that brush is the Beauty Junkies Pro Concealer Brush. It's got nice dense bristles, it's flat, and it's rounded, so it's really kind of doing the job for me, and I've been liking it. I'm going to try this first without any help, any spray or anything like that, but I have a feeling I am going to need a little bit of the setting spray, so that'll be the process here. So again, going into Diversion with the Beauty Junkies Pro Concealer Brush. Okay, already this brush, yes, this is a yes. This brush is working so much better. I still feel like this isn't going to be as pigmented as I'm going to want it, so I probably will lay this down first and then do another layer of this shadow using setting spray. And as you can see, I'm kind of laying this down in a way that looks kind of like a half cut crease, so I'm being pretty precise in the way I'm applying it. And this just isn't the type of shade that is super poppy, that like pops and looks all bright and vibrant. It's really kind of like a grungy dark shade, but this definitely looks a lot better with a second layer and some setting spray. And honestly, this brush is, it's like, I feel like, dramatic as it sounds, but it's a godsend, seriously. I'm so glad that I started using this brush for these shadows because it just works so much better than every other brush that I've been trying. Alright, so there is quite a bit of fallout. I just want to mention for anybody curious, I have kind of like no good or bad feelings about a lot of fallout with products. As long as they look good on the eyes, I'm whatever about it. But just want to stop and show you guys up close just all the fallout. This mostly happens with the metallic shades more than the matte shades. It just, they're so flaky, they kind of just crumble and fall out. They stay on the lids great, but there's just a ton of fallout. So I just want to show you guys that real quick for anybody curious. Alright, now going back in with that Stilazzi Mini Fluff brush and the shade Insider Job, I'm just going to take a little bit of that just to blend the outer corner where that shadow meets Diversion, so it's more gradient looking and not so choppy. Alright, now I'm going to share like a little tip or trick with you guys of something I do. I've done this before in previous videos, but I don't think I've really talked about it much. But to get this line to look a little bit more defined, so it's more of a, for those who want it, if you want like a softer, like no sharp edges kind of look, you could skip this, but I kind of want to clean it up to make it look a little bit more of a like half cut crease look. So what I'm going to do is take this BH Cosmetics bent liner brush, but you could use any liner brush you want, and then go back in with Inside Job and just line that where I put Diversion, just so it looks a little bit more crisp, a little bit more clean. But I start from the back side too, because that's where the most of the pigment is, where, you know, in the outer corner. So more of the pigment's there, and then kind of fades as I get closer to my inner corner line. And you could just see instantly the difference that it makes. It just looks that much more sharp, that much more clean. And I don't know, I prefer that. I like that. Alright, now just really quickly I want to clean up a little bit of my brow bone, do a little bit of cleanup blending as I like to call it. I'm going to be using the shade Poof again, and I'm going to be taking that on the Stilazzi Color Blend L211 brush. And I'm just going to take that right at my brow bone, right at the arch, and just kind of sweep the color there and then blend back and forth and then downwards, just to kind of soften up and blend right there. Alright, moving on, I'm going to be using the It Cosmetics Superhero eyeliner to add some winged liner. And I mentioned this before, but I've been doing this different technique where I start from the outer portion of my line. I don't create a line from underneath and then go in. I pretty much start from where I want the end or the tail of my wing to go and then bring it into my lash line. I find that that's just a little bit easier for me. Alright, now that my liner's done, we're going to jazz this look up a little bit. I'm going to be using the Flower Beauty Warrior Glitter eyeshadow in the shade Camo. And what I'm going to do is use it to apply over my winged liner to add a little pop of something. I'm not going to use the applicator that comes with the glitter just because it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics Bent Liner Brush to apply. Alright, now moving on to the lower lash line, I'm going to go back in with this Smith 230 brush just to add potion very sloppily to my lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go into a shade I haven't used yet. I'm going to go into the shade Moho, which is a kind of a deep matte brown. And I'm going to be taking that with the Sigma Smudge E21 brush and lining my lower lash line. And to really blend and diffuse it all out, I'm going to be going into the shade Insider once again with the Stilazzi Mini Crease brush. Alright, so here's what we got going on so far. As you can see, I've kind of got a mess all over my face, so I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my face and then pop back on camera to finish up this look. Alright, now that my face is done, I am just going to pop a little bit of the shade Power Cut into my inner corner. So to do that, I'm actually going to be using a pencil brush, and this one is from Beauty Junkies. Alright, now for my original look, I was only wearing mascara, so that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to be using is the Covergirl, I got these sent from Covergirl and PR, but it's the Covergirl Lash Blast Amplifying Primer, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the their mascara, which is the Flourish by Lash Blast, I can't say it, mascara. And I've been using these a lot recently, kind of interchangeably with the Ico Lash Alert mascara, and I actually really like this. Alright you guys, I'm still loving the way this looks with just mascara, and so I'm just going to go ahead and move on to my lips. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is use the Makeup Forever High Precision Lip Pencil in the shade N22, and then I'm going to go over it with the Buxom Vava Plump Shiny Liquid Lipstick in the shade Honeydew. My sweet friend Shay sent me a goodie box with a few Buxom lippies that she had extra because she knew that I was really wanting to try more from Buxom, and she had extra. So I'm really excited, and this shade Honey is one of the ones she sent me. It is just a little bit too nude. That's why I'm going to go ahead and pair it with this lip liner to kind of see if it could deepen it up just a little bit. Alright, so here is the completed look. I am loving the way this turned out. I love the way it turned out the first time, but I love it even more now. But that is it for this look and tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful and liked this look. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on this look, on this palette. What are you thinking of these? Feel free to share your opinions, your thoughts, your experiences as well, and all that good stuff. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes.